I'm super happy to be back. It's my favorite place, and I'm happy to join this, as Maria said, as this.
Djokovic and Sabalenka just gave the U.S. Open mixed doubles event something it's been missing: genuine star power at the very top of the entry list. And that single detail is about to set off a much bigger story than it first appears. Here's what's happening. As entries roll in for this year's mixed doubles competition, two of the biggest names in tennis are locking in their spots. Novak Djokovic, the Serbian legend, and Aryna Sabalenka, the reigning women's world #1, have both entered, and their pairing is expected to headline the tournament when the initial 6 teams are confirmed based on world rankings. But here's the twist that's got fans talking. The two men currently sitting at the very top of the ADP rankings, Jannik Sinner at #1 and Carlos Alcaraz at #2, are both sitting this one out. Neither man will be stepping onto the court for mixed doubles this year. And the reasons behind their absence tell you a lot about where this event still stands in the eyes of the sport's biggest stars. Let's rewind for a second, because context matters here. Last year, the U.S. Open mixed doubles event went through a major transformation. Organizers shortened the scoring format for early rounds, hoping to make matches quicker and more television-friendly. They also moved the entire event to a brand new time slot, a standalone 2-day spectacle staged before the singles tournaments even begin. The whole point of the shakeup was simple: get the sport's biggest names to actually show up and play. And to be fair, it worked, at least partially. Alcaraz did enter last year, teaming up with Emma Raducanu in a pairing that generated plenty of buzz. But not everyone was thrilled with the changes. Italian doubles specialists Sarah Errani and Andrea Vavassori, who ultimately won the whole thing and walked away with $1 million winner's check, were vocal critics of the new format. Despite their complaints, they're back this year to defend the title they earned. Now, about those two absences. Jannik Sinner, who's coming off a Wimbledon championship run, didn't play mixed doubles last year either, and he's skipping it again this time around. His team says he's prioritizing his health and recovery heading into the final Grand Slam of the season. And it's not just mixed doubles he's stepping back from. Sinner is also passing on the Canadian Open, which runs from August 2nd through the 13th. For a player carrying the weight of a #1 ranking and a grueling calendar, managing his body before the U.S. Open singles draw is clearly the priority right now. Carlos Alcaraz has his own story. Unlike Sinner, he did give mixed doubles a shot last year alongside Raducanu. But this time, he's dealing with a wrist injury that's already cost him significant time on tour, an injury serious enough that it forced him out of both the French Open and Wimbledon. With that kind of recovery timeline, it makes sense that he'd rather focus on getting back to full strength for singles competition rather than adding extra matches to his schedule. So, what does this all mean for the tournament itself? Well, it's a mixed bag, no pun intended. On one hand, you've got Djokovic, at 39 years old, still one of the most recognizable figures in the sport, teaming up with Sabalenka, who at 28 is dominating the women's game right now. That's about as strong a headline pairing as organizers could ask for. On the other hand, the absence of the men's top 2 ranked players raises familiar questions about how much pull this reformatted event really has with the sport's very biggest names. USTA CEO Craig Tiley isn't shying away from promoting the event, though. He's been vocal about what makes mixed doubles special, pointing out that pairing men and women on the same team creates a unique showcase for tennis that you don't get anywhere else on the calendar. According to Tiley, the goal remains the same as it was when the reforms were introduced: bring together the top stars in a format that delivers real entertainment value for fans watching at home and in the stands. Now, here's how the rest of the field is going to come together, because there's still a lot of moving parts before we get a full lineup. The initial 6 pairings will be locked in based on world rankings once entries close on August 17th. After that, 8 additional teams will be added through wildcard selections, with those announcements expected at a later date. And if that wasn't enough drama already, 2 more teams will punch their tickets into the main draw the hard way by battling through an 8-team qualifying bracket held on August 24th. Once all the dust settles, The tournament itself kicks off on August 25th, giving fans a two-day mixed doubles spectacle before the real fireworks begin. Both the men's and women's singles competitions won't start until 5 days later, meaning mixed doubles once again gets its own dedicated spotlight, separate from the chaos of the main draw. So here's the real question hanging over all of this. Is the new format actually succeeding in giving mixed doubles the spotlight it deserves, or is the absence of players like Sinner and Alcaraz proof that some of the sport's top stars still view it as a lower priority? You've got Errani and Vavassori, former critics turned defending champions, coming back to prove a point. You've got Djokovic and Sabalenka ready to inject star power into the draw. And you've got two of the game's brightest young talents choosing to sit this one out entirely. Whatever side of that debate you land on, one thing is clear: the conversation around mixed doubles at the US Open isn't going away anytime soon. As entries continue to come in and wild cards get announced in the coming weeks, all eyes will be on whether this revamped event can finally cement itself as a must-watch fixture, or whether it remains a tournament that some of the sport's biggest names would rather skip. Either way, mark your calendars for August 25th, because whatever happens, this year's mixed doubles competition is shaping up to be one of the more talked about storylines heading into the final Grand Slam of the season.